Grocery store graham crackers have gotten so expensive and they don't even taste that good, but with just a few simple ingredients, you can easily make your own at home for a fraction of the cost, and I promise you, these ones are going to be way better. To make your own graham crackers at home, we're going to start with 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, half a cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. And one totally optional ingredient, anywhere from half to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I don't want my graham crackers to taste like cinnamon, so I'm not going to add it today. Now I'm going to go ahead and whisk these dry ingredients together, and in case you were wondering, if you can get your hands on actual graham flour, by all means use it. The only difference is that graham flour is a little more coarse than whole wheat flour, but otherwise they basically work the same way. Whole wheat flour is just easier to find. Next, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. If you don't want to use vegetable oil, go ahead and use 3 more tablespoons of butter. And at the same time, if you don't want to use butter, just use more vegetable oil. As long as you have 6 tablespoons of fat in total, you're good. Now I'm going to use this pastry blender to start cutting the butter and oil into the dry mixture. And this is exactly the same as making pie crust. Only this time, you want to cut it in a little bit further so the mixture looks almost more powdery. You don't want there to be big chunks of butter or oil remaining, so just keep going until it looks something like this. You're looking for kind of a fine mixture. In the pastry world, this type of mixture is known as being short, when it looks really fine and powdery like this. Now it's time to add 1/3 of a cup of honey, and the reason why it's coming from a pan here is because I had to heat mine up. It had solidified, so I wanted to melt it down. If you have to do the same thing, then just be sure to let it cool completely before adding it in. And finally, I'm going to add 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk to bind everything together. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons for now, just in case I don't need all 4, but you might end up needing more than 4 tablespoons of milk depending on the hydration level of your flour. This was still looking pretty dry, so I added 1/3 tablespoon of milk. And just remember that you can always add more, but you can't take away. And if you end up adding too much milk, then your graham crackers are going to end up turning out hard. This was still looking pretty crumbly, so here comes 1/4 tablespoon. And I know from testing this recipe that this is the ideal amount for my flour, but as I mentioned earlier, you might end up needing a bit more milk. At this point, I highly recommend that you now abandon the spoon and get in there with your hand. The spoon is always going to lie about the true consistency of your dough, but once you get your hand in there, you're going to be able to read it much easier. If you see that it's coming together nicely, then you've probably added enough milk. Do keep in mind that you will be rolling this dough out, and you also don't want it to be crumbly while you're rolling it. This dough here came together perfectly, so if yours looks something like this, then you're on the right track. So now it's time to cut it in half, and we have to refrigerate this for at least 30 minutes. That's not only going to chill the dough to make it easier to roll out, but it's also going to give the dough a chance to hydrate. So wrap each piece in plastic, and if you don't want to roll these out today, they will keep really well in the fridge for up to 5 days, so you can do this ahead of time. And pressing the dough down into these flat discs will help them chill a little faster. So now we can take our dough and pop them in the fridge for 30 minutes, and then we'll be ready to roll them out. So here they are. The consistency is going to feel a little bit different, maybe a little bit firm. And while you work on one piece, be sure to keep the other one in the fridge so it stays nice and firm. Now the easiest way to do this is to roll it directly onto a piece of parchment paper that's been cut to the size of your baking sheet. So go ahead and unwrap your dough, and before I begin rolling it, I always like to shape it into a bit of a rectangle. Because I'll be trimming the edges, this is going to help reduce the amount of scraps you'll have. So sprinkle a little bit of flour on top and just go ahead and start rolling. And right now might be a good time to remind you, if you're looking for a printable recipe, I do have it up on my blog, and as always, I've linked it in the description below. So as you're rolling this out, do try to maintain that nice rectangular shape, but at the same time, don't obsess over it. It doesn't have to be perfect. If your dough gets really wonky, it is very easy to press it back into shape. Whatever you do, make sure you're having fun while you're making your graham crackers. This is a great activity to do if you have little ones around, and you can cut them into different shapes if you want to. Ultimately, I like to roll mine out to about 1/8 of an inch thickness. These are going to puff up a little bit when they bake, so just keep that in mind. Now it's time to trim the edges, and I like to use a pizza cutter to do this, but you can use a knife. Of course, if you're cutting these into shapes using cookie cutters, you don't really have to do this part, but I am making rectangular graham crackers, and for a piece this size, I like to get about 8 large crackers. And I've seen so many graham cracker videos where people are measuring so meticulously with a ruler. I don't bother doing that. I want to have fun when I'm doing this. So these 2 lines here that I'm making, those are actually just going to be score lines. So after these are baked, I'll be able to break the graham cracker perfectly in half on the line. Now we have to punch little holes in the dough, and the easiest way to do this is with a fork. But I prefer to use a wooden skewer, not the sharp end, but actually the flat end that doesn't really get used for anything. It is going to take a little longer, but it's so worth the effort. Put on a good TV show, listen to some music, and this part's gonna fly by like willy-nilly. Just look at the difference between these 2 crackers. I think this one looks way better, don't you? So while I go ahead and do the rest of these, I'm just going to say that if you're enjoying this video and you're getting something useful out of it, I would really appreciate it if you let me know by hitting that like button. That way YouTube will know to put it out to more people who like recipes like this. And in the end, it means that I can keep making these videos for you all. Alright, so now it's time to slide these onto a baking sheet. Isn't it really great to just roll this directly onto the parchment paper? I can't think of an easier way to do it. And while you guys weren't looking, I went ahead and did the other piece of dough, which was a little bigger, so I got a few more crackers out of it, but that's okay. Now bake these in your preheated 350 Fahrenheit oven for 10 to 12 minutes. You'll know they're ready when the edges are slightly brown, and when you lightly press on it like this, it should spring back. If it leaves an indentation, then they need a little more time in the oven. Now, probably the most important part of this is while they're still hot from the oven, you cut them again, because once they cool, you won't be able to do this. Just remember not to cut the part where the score line is. You don't want to separate those. Only cut where you want the actual crackers to be separated. And you're going to be able to tell by now how good your kitchen smells, how much better these are than store-bought graham crackers. Here's a look at underneath so you can see how golden brown they should be. If you find that when your graham crackers cool and they're still a little bit chewy, just pop them back in the oven for a minute or 2. And there you have your beautiful graham crackers. When you snap this in half, it's going to break perfectly right on that little line there. And now all you have to do is enjoy them as is or think of the next recipe you're going to use them in.